If you're still treating your companion like a floating vacuum cleaner, you're playing the version of Warframe that doesn't exist anymore. After the Companion 2.0 rework, these aren't just pets, they are force multipliers. But I see so many baby Tenno copying builds without understanding the hierarchy of how a pet actually thinks. Today, we are applying the 5-pillar logic to your companions so that you can stop fighting the meta and start creating it. This is the Swifty Academy. Let's get into it. Pillar 1 is going to be about barn mods. So if you're an orbiter, even though this doesn't look like an orbiter, it looks like a freaking house. Anyway, if you come down and you go to your little modding station and you search in the words barn, these are all of the barn mods that you can possibly get in Warframe. If you're curious where do you get them from the open worlds such as the plains of Eidolon, Fortuna, and Deimos. Now, Pillar 1 barn mods. This is the single most important addition to companion system. These mods are the bridge between your pet's survival and your Warframe's lethality. The lethality loop. Take Tenacious Barn as an example. If your pet's weapon hits a 50 critical chance or more, you get a final 1.2 critical multiplier on your weapons. That is a massive damage floor increase for just bringing your pet along. Priming and uptime. If you look at the barn mods such as Manifold Barn and Contagious Barn, those allow your robotic companions to spread status effects and reduce their own ability cooldowns every time you kill an enemy. The death tax. We used to fear the pet's death. Now with mods like Restorative Bond, your pet's downtime is just a brief timeout. You're no longer keeping them alive, you're managing their active state to keep up your buffs running 100% of the time. And it's not just Restorative Bond, it's also Tenacious Bond. If you hit an enemy in the head, again, it recovers your companion much faster. Pillar 2. Utility mods. These are specialized jobs that only specific companions can perform. Example, let's take the Panzer Whip of Hyla. We all know it can proc viral, but for this instance, I'll be showing a melee based setup that I will be using, and we can have a look at the following: Prime Pack Leader and Tandem Bond. For my melee enthusiast, the combination of Prime Pack Leader and Tandem Bond is legendary. You heal a pet with swings, and the pet keeps your combo counter from decaying. It's a symbiotic relationship. Status Immunity. This is where Worm Prime comes along. Using his specific preset mod called Negate, and the thing is, Negate on Worm Prime is a literal self-labor and high level content. It prevents that one stagger or knockdown that usually leads to a mission fail. The honorable mentions, while mods like Hard Reset used to be the old school meta for reviving your companion, the modern day barn mods are usually more than enough to handle revival. Instead, have a look at your companion with mods such as Synth Deconstruct that will force health orb drops for an equilibrium effect, or Hastened Deflection, or in this case Accelerated Deflection if your pet relies on Shield Gate for resets. So this pillar is about plugging the holes in Warframe's defenses. Now, pillar 3 is the secret source. Now, most players think mod placement is just about fashion on the screen. It's not. It is absolutely not. Companions read the mouse like a book, from top left to bottom right. Their priority logic: if you put an attack preset, such as assault mode, um, and your guardian last, the sensor will try to shoot a lancer before it can fix your broken shields. The Warframe's choice. For Warframe, for a shield-gated orientated Warframe, you must, I would put it again, I said it again, you must put Guardian first. And something like Shield Charger as well, in those first two slots here. You are literally programming your pet's priority list. Don't let your pet's II get distracted by damage when you need it for survival. This is how you optimize your Warframe behind the pet. Great example again with my Grim Prime build that I have here is I have Guardian for shield gating. Guardian is superior than what is the other mod? Shield Charger, because it works better. Essentially, to help you shield gate better. Negate is there to cleanse you of status effects, and Manifold Bond helps you reset these two as fast as possible, so that you can uptime your survivability at all times. Pillar 4. The weaponry of your companion. A companion's weapon isn't just for killing, it's for the logic. Reading the stats such as the Artax, Burst Laser Prime, Verglas Prime, Prime Laser Rifle, Hellstrom, Tactical, Sweeper Prime, Death Machine Rifle Prime. If you look at the base numbers, if the weapon has five crit chance, you just stop trying to force it to do damage. You automatically know that it's a status-based weapon. Example, the Artax, the tactical weapon, the crit chance is 2%. It's obvious. Don't try to make it a damaging. Don't try to make it a damaging weapon. Come on, man. Now, there are many ways to build a companion. I have my own way. I will showcase why and how, but keep in mind that there are many ways to build a robotic companion's weapons. So there are many ways to build a robotics weapon. Now I'm gonna take the Verglas Prime as an example. Yes, I have a rhythm for it, but that's not the point of the video. What I'll be talking about is the status and what it does overall. Okay? If my weapon, okay, I'm not going to showcase the rhythm. If my weapon has a viral, then I would of course use other elements to complement it, such as corrosive or whatever the case might be. I do name my configs because I don't want to get confused. I'm going to use this one as an example. A corrosive called setup. Basically, it's in the name called. Now you're probably wondering, why do I have cold? Why? Because of Shivering Contagion. It gives me crowd control at all times. It will slow down the surrounding enemies and effectively help me kill them, and just have a pretty good time, to be honest. And you can of course go, and I will probably show it as well. Might as well. This is a viral heat setup that I will typically use for if I use corrosive and a non-nourish build. Then I have a way to proc nourish, but of course I want my viral to be firstly prioritized and then heat, but heat gets doubled because of our elementalist, and it gives me punch through to hit as much enemies as possible, etc, etc. So here's the thing, that was with a ribbon, okay? You can use a ribbon, you can't use a ribbon. It doesn't matter. That's your choice. A ribbon is a nice thing. It's like the toppings of a pizza. It makes it delicious, but it's not the main thing. The pizza is the dough, the flat spread bread. That's the way I can describe it. So you don't always need a ribbon. That's something that I can also mention. So if you look at something like the Artax, amazing weapon. I got a ribbon for it, but don't judge, okay? The Artax, I didn't like it at first because I only saw the crit chance being so low, and I tried to get a crit chance ribbon for it, but it doesn't work simply because the breakpoint is too low, the threshold for crit chance is too low. So you can automatically think for yourself, okay, Tenacious Bond won't obviously work, so having a Tenacious Bond on your companion would be a waste. Now, I love the Burn Prompt, that's why I have these many layout slots. So I got an all utility, all rounder, and this is a all non-tenacious build. Why? Because if my companion's weapon doesn't have threshold for the Tenacious Bond, then why would I have Tenacious Bond on it in the first place? That is the question. Anyways, so this is what I would use. This is like a synergistic type of setup, symbiotic setup, you could say. So if I have a look at my build, I'm gonna take a stupid example: viral and magnetic and cold, of course, because cold is the inherent element for the weapon. Let me just do this. So essentially, viral and magnetic is essentially the same thing, but there's a twist. Let's twist again like we did last summer. And I'm just kidding. I just had to do the meme of it. Anyway, no, jokes aside, viral and magnetic is essentially the same if you look at the description of them. What does viral do? Viral increases the damage to health, like anything that has health in the game, which is basically everything, will allow you to do 325% extra damage. That is what it does. Same thing is with magnetic. So again, there it says again 325%. So just by having viral and magnetic on your companion is more than enough to do a lot of damage. Okay. Now I use this type of setup for my dirty work. I don't want to go and prime them with the secondary because it takes time. It's unnecessary. I'd rather have a good secondary as well to do damage and a primary, everything. That's why companions exist. You don't have to prime enemies yourself. You can. You're welcome to if you want to do inherit mechanic thing, whatever. However, this is what I would use. Again, the Artax is not a very known weapon, but it's a good weapon. A lot of people don't use it simply because of the fact that, well, it's a beginner's companion, so why would you waste? You can use the same logic and apply it to basically everything. Every single Warframe, not Warframe companion weapon, but it's your choice. At the end of the day, I don't have a build for every single weapon. I don't have a build for every single companion weapon, simply because I have more than enough to play with. I have the Tactical, the Artax, the Burst Laser, Verglass. I have everything that's meta and non-meta at the same time, because I like to have a little bit of playroom, if you will. I don't want to just kill stuff with meta, because that's extremely boring. So that is pillar 4. So with pillar 4 being done and dusted, we're gonna have a look at pillar 5, the synergy. Now, a companion build only works if it understands the warframe it's following. We're gonna have an example. I think there's only 2 warframes, but The main example that I'm going to use is Healgen. We all know Healgen doesn't work with energy at all. She works with what? She works with shields. That's her quote-unquote source of energy. That's her way of doing abilities, doing cool stuff, blowing up stuff, armor stripping, all of those good stuff, okay? That's her entire kit. Now, if you look at something like the companion that I'm running, and if you look at an average build, you are probably wondering, what the hell is the difference? It's because of Synth Deconstruct, okay? That's the main giveaway. Synth Deconstruct is a waste on a Warframe that doesn't require energy or doesn't use energy at all. I think that's the better way of putting it. If a Warframe doesn't work with energy at all, having to mod for Synth Deconstruct is a bit of a waste. However, I know that if we look at the mod, it says whole string primary, blah blah blah. That is a secondary thing, but the main thing is the first part, okay? I know a lot of people, that's the main thing that people use Synth Deconstruct for, is to help them sustain their own energy. But this is the typical build that I would use for Healgen. And if you go and make synergistic builds, okay, don't judge my names of my companion, my layout slots. We're going to quickly have a look at someone like Inaros. We all know Inaros is very tanky because of his health and everything, but if you want to complement his health and make a good synergistic companion, I would recommend something like this. A health tanking companion. Why? Because he will get a lot of health. It will get a lot of armor as well. And the thing is with Inaros, he can get even more armor if he uses abilities, which will also then increase the armor on your companion. So that alone is like a big way to make a synergistic build, essentially. And again, a melee platform, tandem bond, prime pack leader, it's to help you uptime your combos on your melee. The conclusion. Now, every mod on your companion should have an answer to a specific problem on your Warframe, essentially. When a paint handles the energy, status clearing, and the armor stripping, you are free to do the lethal version of yourself. So yeah, companions aren't just accessories, they are your co-pilots. If you apply these 5 pillars, you'll never look at the mod screen the same way again. I hope this video helped you discover your own playstyle. It's a PvE game after all, and I want the best for you. I hope this has helped you, give you a little bit more insight, and view modding companions a different way. I think this will be the last video in terms of my 5-pillar concept that I've been making in the works. This is the 3rd video. I will be linking the first 2 videos about weaponry modding and Warframe modding as well in the description. And yeah, we're very close to 300 legends, 300 subscribers, as to say, in the Swifty Academy, and I want to be there in the next lesson. If this video has helped you in any way of sorts, I will greatly appreciate a like and subscribe, and I'll be waiting for you in the next lesson. Stay safe, stay lethal. Swifty out.